I am a 26-year-old millionaire. I don't really say that out loud at all, ever. I just wanted to introduce myself and start talking a little bit more. I wanted to get more into the content space and just tell you guys how I grew to acquiring millions of dollars. I started becoming an entrepreneur back in, I want to say like when I was like 12. Like I watched Iron Man and I just wanted to become him. I was like, wow, that's so cool to be that innovative and to be that rich and successful. Like that's what I want to be when I grow up. Obviously, I'm not Iron Man now, but from that, it led me to going to school, and I just was always distracted. I never got good grades. That because my parents were divorced and a lot of family stuff was happening, so I was just never like in tune with everything. Didn't know how to act or like just do anything right in school and like the behavioral standpoint. I was always daydreaming about inventing companies and just being rich and driving supercars and being on boats with girls and just like all of that stuff. That's just not where I think or see things now at all. But it's really interesting. I'm reflecting on my journey, and I mean, my first entrepreneurial endeavor was growing Instagram accounts. I grew my first car Instagram account, I think when I was like 15 or 16 in high school. And I was just reposting cars and videos of cars. And that page started getting millions of views a day and tens of thousands of followers. And it was just like one of the coolest things in the world, being like, wow, all these people, I'm getting all these views. And my friends in high school were talking shit and be like, oh, you'll never be anything, this won't amount to anything like that. And I stuck with it. Like, so many people were discouraging for absolutely no reason, just like as high schoolers are, and just most people in life are. But I was just having fun and I was learning so much. And in that time, I started figuring out that like, okay, there's paths outside of going to college. I never planned on going to college. I wasn't smart. I didn't get good grades. I was just like, the only two classes I was good at was ceramics and gym class. I don't think anyone could be bad at gym, but I just wasn't good at like anything that wasn't just like creative or business related. And then in high school, I started this company called Not Creative, and it was a clothing brand. At the time, it wasn't saturated, okay? I absolutely despise clothing brands. I hate people that have clothing brands and be like, this is my clothing brand. And I'm like, dude, no. Just the barrier to entry is so low on that. Like, looking at it now, I'm like, oh my gosh. I was ahead of the time. I was right on time. But we had really basic designs, and I think we sold like a couple $1,000s in the first week. We had phone cases and other things too, and I was promoting it. My friend was doing the designs and the website, and I was promoting it, doing all the marketing on social media. And it was really, really cool. It was just such a cool experience to be able to grow and see that we were actually driving sales. Like, it was so neat. This is my cat. You're gonna see her a lot. She's a lap cat. But from there, growing a business was just not in my realm of experience for continuing it solely, because my business partner at the time quit 2 weeks in. Pretty sure he just said like we didn't get paid out from, Shopify or whatever platform we were selling on at the time. I think he just pocketed the money and ran. So I'm like, oh, learning lesson. And then at the time, I opened up an online casino called CSGO Lore. It was an old like betting roulette CSGO thing at the time, and so many lessons to be learned in that. And that's just another thing that led me to where I was. But I would put like money into my own skins and then put it in there and have people like play and withdraw and slowly try to grow it. And then we got scammed. Someone got access to our bot and we lost all the money in there, and that was discouraging. So stop that. And then I shortly after that started a lawn care business where I was just sending out flyers literally to everyone in the neighborhood, in the whole giant neighborhood of just like anywhere I could walk or bike to. I was just putting flyers and trying to get customers. And we had a couple, which was kind of cool. I never really did any of the work. I pawned it off to one of my neighbors, who was a good friend of mine that was in, I think he was in college or just about to be. It was his senior year. Yeah, it was his senior year, and then he was going to college. So he was mowing lawns until he went to college. So I would just, we charged $25. I would take $5, and then I'd give him $20. So it was pretty easy to do. So that gave me a little bit more experience. And then my cousin in like 2017 became a professional Fortnite player out of the blue. And that piqued my interest in content, because why wouldn't that, Every kid, every person our age or even younger just dreams of being a content creator and how cool it would be. And then I started creating content, and that did absolutely nothing. For a full year I tried, and then my cousin didn't really help me literally at all, ignored me. Not that I reached out a lot or needed like any crazy help. I was just asking for some advice and tips. Just never really responded to me. And then a couple years went by, I finished high school. went into college for just a short, I mean the smallest, less than a trimester, a semester or anything, just because like I went into college just trying to figure out what I wanted to do in like the business field or anything. I went down to FGCU and then got denied, so I went back up to Minnesota to do a community college, and then I started doing content again. I picked it back up, and then I blew up personally. I got like 500,000 followers on TikTok with hundreds of thousands of just views on every single post to like millions of views per post. The first like 3 days after my post went viral, or first 42 days, I got 100,000 followers. It was like December 29th that my video had like a couple million views, and I gained 50,000 followers in just like 2 to 3 days. It was absolutely nuts. Like I remember that experience being so surreal, being like, wow, I think this is happening. And at the time I was living with my dad in a townhouse because we just sold our house and my dad was getting ready to retire, where I fell into TikTok, and I just didn't go back to college. I dropped out. I'm like, I'm going to make this work. And then through there, I just landed like an internship at a marketing company too, because TikTok wasn't paying bills. There was no like rewards pool for views or anything at the time. It was just purely love of the game and followers and attention. And after that, I landed a job at a small marketing team because the owner saw my resume and he was really intrigued, and I landed a quick little internship there and then a full-time role. And I started out with my salary at being like, it was like $38,000 a year as like a intern, and then like couple weeks in I got increased to like 42,000, which was like so cool at the time because like I just started making a couple $1,000s a month on the internet too. And then I landed my first client on the side, like contracting, and that brought in, I think it was like $1,500 a month. I'm like, wow, I can do this by myself. Like I brought them in as a client. I was getting commission, and I'm like, I can just market myself. Like, and then I immediately quit because I think that same month, through my other ventures on like content, I had my first like $10,000 month, and I'm like, dude, I am all in. I am making it rain. It was so cool. And then I found out that like creating content just through TikTokers stuff, I just hated it. I grew to hate it. It became a job, and I liked teaching people what to do. I liked working with brands a little bit more, and just working with people individually was so much better. And it led to me all these cool things like flying out to LA, and having all these meetings with all these cool creators, and then going out to New York and hosting meetings at TikTok, and presentations at TikTok, and these just high rises, and like they were footing the bill and paying for everything I was doing for my agency. And it was just like so surreal because then like months of like 10 to 20K turned into 50K, turned into 100K months. And it was just like this incredible experience just to like venture through. And then, you know, where we are now, fast forward 4.5-5 years into this, I'm selling the company and the agency, and I'm starting different projects, and one that I'm going to be documenting live here, just like what it's like to grow a product company. You know, I don't have experience in that, but this is just my journey in that. I've invested in other companies. I have a little thing that I've been doing on the side for a while, just throwing some money in a portfolio and showing you guys what the returns look like, what the investments look like, what my methodologies are in life, how I've gotten to where I've gotten, how I think. And so I think that's what a lot of this is going to be, is just like the endeavors that I've taken and where I've gone to get to where I am. And that's just like, even with my business partner now, he was just on Beast Games, finished top 5 August. So it's like all these little cool things that happen in life that you just never plan for, in these directions that it takes. It's just so surreal. And that's like, I was planning to buy a house this year, and I just like, there's nothing on the market that you like, life never goes to plan, which is what I'm saying. And so it's like, you find yourselves in all these grooves, never really knowing to go. And I want to be speaking as if I'm speaking to kind of my younger self here, to anyone new that, you know, wants to start a business, or maybe it's that kid in like high school like I was, that was just like trying to start, nothing's clicking, nothing's working, but you just like, you feel it in your soul, like you know it's going to happen, like you speak it into existence, you're not ever quitting. And that's the only way to do business too, is you just never quit. Like, you lose when you quit. You don't lose because you're in the game 5 years. Like, you are in the game and you are going to win. And that's just like, I knew that from just a standpoint and a belief of mine. When I was a kid, I just felt it. It's just one of those things, like, just God. It's literally just God saying, like, you will accomplish your goals and your dreams. And that's just kind of like how I've ended up in life. So I want to just document the next like journey of like growing a business and the struggles and, you know, ups and the downs of everything too. I want to like transform a little bit more in terms of like me growing and showing what I'm doing, and just be really open and transparent with like my thoughts, my methodologies, new strategies that I'm using, just giving insight into like just what I think and why I think the way I think and how I operate, and like new ideas and testing things and my fails and my successes. Yeah, I mean, take it from a guy that has his bed on the floor. My bed frame's in storage because I was gonna buy a house. It is what it is. But I found a place I really liked. I think my lease is up this year. I was on a month to month, and then 6 months in, I switched to a year, like 13 months, because the place I'm at, it's pretty dope. But I also don't really like living in Minnesota for the sole fact that taxes, brother, it's bad. And I have friends that are online in different states now, and I'm like, dude, I love those guys. Like, I want to go hang out more with them. You just find new people, new friends, you keep growing in life. That's just kind of a little bit of my story and my journey too. And, you know, I've had businesses that have done well, and investments that have done well, and investments that I've lost like 50K, which, you know, when you think about when I was younger, that would have just blown my mind. And I'm 26, so hopefully there's a lot left in me, just growing and doing so many new things. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I just wanted to give context to just me and the page and the direction that I'm going in. You're gonna see me grow a pet company and do a little bit more on the finance stuff here and there. I really just want to show you guys what it's like to grow a business, new strategies, work on socials, what it's like to create content, what it's like to work with suppliers and manufacturers and find space to go, and just team members to hire on, because I have experience in a lot of that stuff. But I think there's a lot of really interesting things, and hopefully a lot of useful tips that you guys will find in this too. Yeah, I'm just gonna be posting more, and I hope you guys like it. So if you want to follow the journey, just keep watching.